big one. This is a big one, like I'm excited or something. For another episode of Last Week, This Week with your boy, Clayton Hill. It also sounds constipated. Man, that's kind of how I feel. Not physically, I'm not, just everything's just like, ugh. We're going to get into how we're doing on some New Year's resolutions and whatnot. Just gotta keep you guys posted with all that. But just a lot of sucky suck, dude. A lot of sucky suck. But you know, that's life. That's what we do. Last week, got outside, man. Great outdoors. We're going to cover some great outdoors. We're doing some some goals and catching up. I'm already falling apart, man. It's week 3. Are we all falling apart? This is kind of what happens every year. This is what happens. This is why people don't like New Year's resolutions. It's just a lot going on, and we usually just kind of fall apart and back to our old ways. But there's always some good stuff, you know? Last week we got outside. I love getting outside. It's kind of my thing. We had some great outdoor activities. We went on a 6-mile hike. Hell yeah, dude. Sounds awesome. It doesn't, though. It doesn't sound awesome, and mostly because it's not. It sounds cool to achieve. Would love to go on a 6-mile hike. Wow, you went on a 6-mile hike? Yeah, dude, no problem. No, it was a problem, man. Now, don't get me wrong. Absolutely gorgeous. Went out to Malibu. Right, you've got the ocean, you've got the mountains. Saw people, rock climbing, and it was a good maintained trail. Wasn't crowded. Only saw like a handful of people. Good vegetation. There's good waypoints going on. There was like an inspiration point where you could look over the ocean, and it had like a dial there, and with different, arrows pointing at different features, different things. Catalina Island was over there. You could see the island going on. And there was like a whole bunch of other stuff. I didn't know what was going on, but it was kind of cool. You just sat up, and it was like probably one of the highest points in Malibu that I've been on. So that was kind of, sick stuff. Sick things, man. Hiking is tight. 6-mile hikes are tight. No, dude. Mile 1, okay. Mile 1's fine. Mile 2, okay, this is kind of dumb. I kind of wish we were halfway back at this point. Mile 3 is like you got to be kidding me. Mile 3, we're only halfway. Mile 3, like 2.5 even, I was like, okay, we got to stop watching. I just need to keep going. Mile 3, this is dumb. This is dumb. Mile 4 feels like mile 3. Feels like you've made zero progress whatsoever. Mile 5, I wish this was over. I wish we were done. My knees hurt. We're getting to a point of it's no longer a matter of being out of breath. It's no longer a matter, the temperature was fine, but it's we're not too hot. We're not too cold. It's not a matter of this is the same boring scenery. This is a matter of I don't know if my body really now we're doing detrimental harm because the outside of both knees, I don't know what it is, but they're just this constant pain by this ligament where the right in the middle, just where the legs meet, the top leg and the bottom leg, where they come together. Right on the side of the kneecap, and kind of even underneath, a little bit underneath. It's got to be where a ligament hits another ligament. I don't know if ligaments attach to bones. I don't know what ligaments do. I know they kind of hold it all together. Whatever that is, dude. Mile 5, screaming. Note to self, take some ibuprofen before anything over a 3.5 mile hike. Mile 6, get me out of here, dude. Like, I'm done. I'm done with it. I'm over it. Like, this isn't a cute thing anymore. Like, whoo, wow, we did it. That's awesome. Now I need to see a doctor. like all this working, this physical activity that I've been doing, this working out, trying to build a new me. We haven't built shit in 3 weeks, apparently, because I'm going to be one of those people with the little walking poles next time. Like, you see that, like we're on some journey in the Antarctic, and we're, and you just crawling, just, stake by stake, stick by stick. The thing is, there wasn't a lot of elevation. Like, we weren't going like up and down a lot or anything like that. Like, I mean, a little bit, sure. I already have like this. I'm way over prepared for any hike, but like, you never know what's going to happen. And I kind of like to get out there and get off trail sometimes. So best believe I've got like an emergency kit. I've got a med kit. I've got a headlamp. Got some bug spray. I've got Rambo's water bottle. I got a 2-liter pack on. I've got some bear spray strapped for a Friday afternoon in Malibu. Like, so if I just add some of those walking sticks, I get that going on. I've already got like my waterproof pants and my little hiking shoes in Malibu. I just feel like it's the most overprepared that you could ever be. And I didn't need any of that. Turns out I just need knee surgery or something. But of course, it's good to get out. It's good to get some sunshine. It's good to do some physical activity and feel good. It was cool to see the ocean, cool to see the mountains, cool to see some rock climbers. Saw like this, I don't even know what you call it, this swarm, this colony of ladybugs. Never before I've seen just covering everything. Log on the ground, covered in ladybugs. Grass, covered in ladybugs. Leading up to a small tree, the trunk and the branches covered in ladybugs. I took my hand and just scooped it up the side of the tree. Just had a handful of ladybugs. Thousands, not even hundreds. Thousands of ladybugs hanging out here. Pretty cool stuff. Worth a couple of knees? I don't know. But they're working fine today. Working all right today. So it's great to get outside. 2 thumbs up. Painful, but it's got to be good. It's got to be good for you. I know it's good for you. What else do we do? We went hunting. We went duck hunting. Duck season is coming to a close. There's only like 3 more Saturdays that I can go. And I'm not good. I've learned that. I used to like go with people and I get like, a duck here and a duck there. Here a duck, there a duck. Everywhere a duck. Like, but nothing where I'm coming home. Not like the pictures where you see like the 6 dudes sitting outside or standing outside of the Ford F-150 with the tailgate down and just lined up with some waterfowl. Everybody with straight face, like it's like they just like are going to war with some waterfowl. Never done that. Like, dude, like maybe 2 ducks. It's like the most I've ever come away with. But I've usually like gone with people, and like between us, we can usually, figure something out. Man, by myself, God, I'm 0 for 2 this year, which isn't going like a lot, and where I'm going is public land. Public land's always, tough because you're competing with everybody else there. It's like, first of all, you show up, it's crowded. The parking lot's crowded. You don't even know if you're going to go. So we went Friday, we went hiking, had a halfway early start. I didn't get very good sleep on Thursday night because I was fat and just ate a whole bunch of stuff. And so it's kind of like took a nap really. Woke up Friday, went on that 6-mile hike, got back just in time to really pass out for another 3 hours from 9 p.m. until midnight. And I woke up at midnight, and that's what I was going to be like, do I feel like going? Do I not feel like going? Okay, well, screw it. There's only a few Saturdays left. Let's go. Drive 2.5 hours away. Got to get there by about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. And then when you show up, you're just throwing your name in a hat pretty much with everybody else that shows up that morning. So I don't even know if I'm going. Like, you just kind of, I'm doing all this and just crossing fingers. I did see a shooting star on the way, so I had a feeling it was going to be a good one. So we toss our name in the hat. We're crossing fingers. Boom, you get picked. Heck yeah, let's go. But you don't know where you walk in, they're like, okay, where do you want to hunt? Most of the time, at this point for me, they were like, all we have left is this spot. And so, all right, we're going to spot number 1. But it's a free roaming spot, which means that there's not like necessarily one spot that you have to go to. You can kind of walk around anywhere, but there's going to be other people, and they're kind of walking around and setting up a spot wherever they want to set up too. So you kind of have to be mindful of that. But we're doing all of this before the sun rises, so everything's in the dark. So you just grab your gear, grab the dog. We drive out to the parking lot. I know I'm kind of supposed to go that way, but it's dark. So you get a map, which looks kind of like a 5-year-old drew it. And you're just kind of guessing. You got a headlamp on, you got a sled full of your gear, and you can see what you can see. And you just kind of get out there wherever you can get out there. So you're walking in the dark with these waders, chest waders, so about right here, and you gingerly just kind of you head into the water and you kind of see if you can feel the bottom on your next step and how high it is up to you. See how far the bottom is from the next step, how high the water is. Dude, I was getting I'm getting out there, and by this point the sled is floating, right? And the dog's just swimming next to you. He doesn't know where the hell you're going either. Just kind of shine the headlamps. I'm like, okay, there's some cover over here. There's some reeds. Looks like maybe we can set up in here. If there's, vegetation, then typically the water should be kind of elevate, the ground should be up a little bit if the vegetation's coming up. That's what I'm thinking. We get out there, dude, and I'm like one step away from just full submerged water into, and this is pond, dude. This is water just sitting out there in the mud and sticks, man. Like this isn't like a nice babbling brook. This isn't like some fresh spring water that we're out in. This is like just algae and mud. Just sitting there flooded for months, right? So we're like almost tiptoeing at this point. And you kind of get out there, all this, and you're like, okay, this might be a good spot, but it's kind of a little close to the parking lot. Let's see if we can get around on the other side of these reeds. So, you kind of you just tiptoe a little bit over there and try not to sink too much, because heaven forbid you get a boot stuck in the mud and you're in the middle. You can't get that boot out. You do not want that's a bad situation. Just keep moving. So we keep on moving to the other side. Okay, all right. I can see how this will be a good spot. There's vegetation here, vegetation over there. Looks like it might be a good landing zone. We've kind of got like a funnel going on. The wind's blowing in the right direction, where if they're landing into the wind, that would kind of be across from me. So they're flying across from me. They're not coming in and like seeing me. I feel like I've got a good setup. So we get there. I throw the dog blind. Rambo's got a little hut that he chills in. It's like a little house on a stand. So I throw that down, get him above water, get him loaded up, throw some decoys out there, what I think would be a good idea. Get my little mud seat so I'm sitting there. Okay, all right. And then the sun comes up and you just realize that you've got it all fucking wrong. You're just like, okay, well, the wind's blowing in a completely different direction now. And where I thought I was, it seemed like a good spot. But now that I can see where I'm at, this is absolutely terrible. So then you've got to make this split decision of, well, the morning's usually one of the best times. Like when the sun's coming up, that's usually one of the best times. So I don't really want to move right now because I don't want to, have all the ducks fly away and disturb all the ducks before we even get the day started. So I just sit here in this terrible setup and just, again, cross my fingers and hope that a duck comes by. Dude, like it's just I feel like people think that it's Duck Hunter on Nintendo, and God, I wish it was. Boy, do I wish it was. So then as the sun's coming up, like everyone else probably knows what's going on because people have been doing this for years and they've got like crews and they have like real good setups and stuff. Like people love to duck hunt. It's like a thing. And so, the sun's coming up, everybody's shooting but you. Because you're just waiting there, man. The only ducks that are coming by are like way up in the sky that you're not getting, or dude, they whiz past you so freaking quick, dude. Like all you hear is it's like you're not supposed to like look up, right, as part of duck hunting, because your face will glare off the sun. Ducks have really good eyes. You don't want them to see you, so you want to be in as much cover as possible. So you're not supposed to look up in the sky, but you're supposed to see where the ducks are coming from. And so you're like having your head down, but you're kind of looking around. And then if you're looking one way, I swear it's going to fly right from behind you, right over your head, and then it's gone. You can't even get ready, and when you do, you're just knocking all the reeds and the tulips all over you, like the grass and stuff that's growing up around you. You're just making all this motion and noise because you're supposed to be in deep cover. Like how am I supposed to win? Right? And then the only things that are around you are like things you don't want or things you can't shoot. There's cranes around you. There's these coots that are around you, like trash pigeons, basically, that are just, they're a duck, but you don't shoot them. Like nobody wants a coot. It's just like this trash bird. I don't know why. If I could have left with some coot, I would have hit the bag limit, man. But they're usually on the water. They hardly ever fly. They just kind of scoot across the wall. All they do is just get mad at each other. It's just these ducks that like chase each other kind of on the water, and they kind of get mad and they just make noise all day. But they're nothing of what you want. So, okay, you've realized you've got a bad setup. The sun's up. Maybe you switch some things around. You've been sitting there for like, hours. I've been sitting there for like 2 hours. Nothing's coming through. My gloves are soaked because I've had to like put Rambo in his little hut. So by this point, my hands are getting cold. Toss the gloves. Get rid of those things. I realize I have a hole in the bottom of my sled because I guess from sliding it across like the gravel or something took a chunk. It's like the second time that I've used it. There's a hole in the bottom of the sled. So now now everything's getting wet. Which, yeah, Clayton, you're out in a flooded field. Like, isn't that kind of the thing? Yeah, but like some things I don't want to get wet. Like I would like for my gloves to dry out. I would like for the beanie that I put back in there to stay dry. I would like for my gun case, which is a fabric case, or this gun sock, the sleeve, I would like for that to stay dry. I would like for my items not to sink, the things that I'm not using, like the carrying case for the mud seat. There's things in there. So this is going on. And at that point, you're kind of getting a little frustrated. So you're like, all right, I know that I'm terrible with a duck call, but maybe I'll try. Maybe at this point, what do I have to lose? Because nothing's coming my way anyway. Everything is circling. They're all landing in other people's field. I can see them. I don't know what kind of setup they got going on, but I always see the ducks like landing way over in somebody else's spot. They'll just fly right, and they just like dive straight to it. Whatever look they have going on is money, because these ducks just you can see them, they lock their wings and they just soar right on down and land right in it, but not in mine. So maybe I'll try a duck call. You work up the, because you know people are around and you're like, oh God. So there's like this, if you were out there by yourself, probably just, who cares, man? Play that thing like the flute. Just go after it, you know? You know, why not? Just try whatever. But you're kind of in public, dude. Like, people are around you, and so it's so funny because you'll hear people try to do a duck call, and you know that they're terrible at it, or something just wild comes out of that call. And that's what happens every time to me. I don't want to be that person. You don't want to be like, you don't want to, but other people are in their spot laughing at you for sure. As soon as you grab that duck call, you try to just go, but it just sounds like, it's just like the reeds lock up. It sounds like a kazoo. And then you just don't touch it ever again. You're like, no, not going to do that. I'm not going to sound like that guy. Like, first of all, that's not helping. The ducks aren't coming to that. And now I just sound like an idiot. So whenever I leave my spot and everybody else is leaving their spot, they're going to be like, this is the dude who clearly had nothing. This might have been his first time. And I'm walking away empty-handed. You know, so maybe it is, man. Maybe it is. Every time is my first time because I just suck, dude. This is not big buck hunter, man. Hunting sucks, but all I want, it's almost like golf. Like, all it takes is one good shot in golf, one good swing, one good contact, and that'll carry you for a year. One good shot in golf will have you going back every weekend for a year. And you'll think you're the greatest player alive. That's how I feel it is with duck hunting, man. If you can get it to where you call in one bird and it just flies in perfectly and it works in perfectly, and then boom, you've got your harvest. You make a good shot. It's down close. The dog goes out, gets a retrieve. It's happy. You're happy. We've got meat on the table, baby. One good shot will just last you the rest of your life. And I'm still living off of like 2018, man. I moved out here in 2018. I'm living off of, it could have been January of that year. I'm living off of 2017, 2018. Now, I just picked it back up. I haven't been hunting every year, but I'm just saying, years, man. One good shot will last you for years, dude. And then you pack up all your stuff, because you didn't get anything and you're kind of getting tired at this point. It's not like deer hunting where you can, fall asleep in the tree. You might be able to fall asleep out there if you've got a decent blind setup going. But I'm on this like swivel mud seat, just barely above water. So if I snooze, like I'm drowning. So that's not really an option. We gave it a shot. We've had a long night the night before, or a short night on sleep. Time to go. We get our stuff. We pack it up. Which takes a while just to do. Got to go get all the decoys now. Got to put them in the bag, throw it in the sled, grab the seat, throw it in the sled, break down the Rambo's hunting blind, throw it in the sled, get everything. Then you grab that little sled and we're back to tiptoeing, because now you don't know really which way you came in because it looks different. It's light out now. And you're like, I think that I went in this way. Nah, I go that way. That way is a lot deeper than the way that I came out. So what I thought was deep before is even deeper. And then there's this dude who's walking along the road where I'm almost at, where my car is parked, but he's walking, he's watching me, and I can tell that he's like, he wondering if I'm going to keep walking forward, because every step keeps getting deeper and deeper. And at this point, I'm almost swimming. I'm almost just holding on to the sled with a hole in it, hoping that it'll keep me above water, as we just kind of kick our feet a little bit and hopefully paddle our way on over to shore. And so, no, you get there, you get everything off, and then you drive 2.5 hours home empty-handed, only to do like 7 loads of laundry the next day. And this is hunting, and this is why I love it. The great outdoors, man. But we just keep showing up. You're not going to get anything if you don't go. Again, it's like Rambo's probably one of his like last years on going. We'll see how he feels by next year, but I'm just trying to get out there and have him make a couple more runs doing something that he loves, man. And so it's always good, even when it doesn't, turn out the way we want it to. When we're cold, when our fingers are freezing, the hot hands are wet, so they're not even giving me any energy. I know that he's cold, he's shivering in there, and like we're out there in 30-something degree weather. This is what fun is. It's still a good time. And that's kind of where we're at with our New Year's resolutions. They're tough. We keep trying, but we're not doing great. Yeah, I think that's where most everybody is. Like for fitness, I have developed a frozen fupa. I'm fully taking that on. So we're changing up the diet a little bit. I used to, been working out. Hey, I've done maybe 3, maybe 4 days a week. 2 thumbs up. All right. I would like to get that to 5 if we could. Really like to get after it if we could. But 3 to 4 days right now is way more than 0. All right. And so we would work out. We would go home. I get home late. I would throw a frozen meal in the microwave because that is what healthy is. And I started noticing that I was not looking better, but I was looking worse. And these are supposed to be like the healthy meals. And I know, you know in your head that you're like, this can't be healthy, but it looks healthy and it sounds healthy. And that's great marketing by the food company because I started bloating up. I'm pretty sure it's like all the sodium and these carbs and sugars that are in these frozen meals. Preservatives and some other stuff, sure. There's a lot of ingredients on there that I can't pronounce, which is never a good thing. But we started getting, I say we, it's just me. I started getting this frozen, I called it a frozen fupa. I won't explain what a fupa is, but just this little belly. I started getting a little belly. And so this week we're moving on to chicken and rice and broccoli, which is the tried and true method to see if we can help a little bit. Real enthusiastic about that. Real enthusiastic about all of this. If you can't tell, the new year is going great. I hope yours is going just as good as mine. What else? Dry January is now moist. It's a little moist. And I know that people love the word moist, which is why I choose to use that instead of damp. Because I don't think we're at damp January yet. We are at moist January. I had 1 beer on Friday after the hike. I am a weak man. I'm not strong enough. And I had a beer. I had a beer. But it was just 1. And so not to a damp level yet. I will maintain a moist January moving forward. We'll see, man. I don't know. Maybe I'll pick another 30 days. Like it's tough. It was a tough start. I knew that I had some big events at the beginning of the year and it was going to be tough to do anyway. I am reading. I'm reading my 5 love languages so that I can just be a irresistible man in this world. Learning a little bit about myself and a little bit about others. And while I'm reading this, like I really honestly, this is what you should be doing with your partner. But like I should just kind of be doing this with myself. I want words of affirmation, like kind of praising. Wow, I really appreciate you doing this. Holy cow, you're really good at that. These kind of things. I feel like we could all do that to ourselves a little more. wow, I really appreciate that, even though I haven't done a full dry January, I tried. I appreciate that I only did one beer on Friday after that hike. And I really appreciate that, I only, it wasn't anything this past week. Well, that was this past weekend. Yeah, well, I really appreciate that I'm trying. And I'm really good at setting goals, and I'm really good at scheduling things out. Hell yeah, dude. I'm about to pump myself up. Let's go. And so we got through that, and we got through quality time, which I also think that we could all do to ourselves. Spend quality time with ourselves, cell phones turned off, TV turned off, completely devoted to ourselves. And I kind of do that with my meditation. Although I probably won't have time to do that today. But I really appreciate that I try to get these things done. And I can see the effort that I'm putting forth. And I know how difficult that is for me. Boom. Love languages, baby. Let's go. All in all, man, it's just like, God, we just keep going. I feel like I'm lost, but I have faith, right? Like, I don't know why I keep doing these podcasts. Like, they're not going anywhere. It's only my friends that are listening, but I just keep doing it. I thought about doing it at the beginning of the year. I woke up, had a lot of views on a video from like a year ago. I said, the universe wants me to do this. I said, God wants me to do this. I'm a godly man, but the universe wants me to do this, right? I know that if I just keep showing up and I keep working out, that little by little things will change and they will get better. I know that if I just keep reading, even though it may not be every day, that I will learn some stuff and we will get better. I know that even though I didn't do my coding class last week, that doesn't mean that I can't do it this week and that I can't continue to grow and get better. I just trust the process, man. You just keep going, keep moving forward, keep trying new things. I know that I didn't feel like getting out there on Friday, but I did it anyway. And I found a really cool spot that I would probably hike again. I know that I was tired and I could have stayed home and not have driven 2.5 hours to go hunting, but I did, and I got to spend time with my dog. And those days are limited. All of our days are limited. And so that just gave me another opportunity to spend time with my dog. I just keep going. I just trust the process, even if I stumble along the way. Because doing nothing leads to more doing nothing. The alternative is so much worse. Doing nothing leads to nothing, man. Doing nothing leads to darkness, dude. Honestly, like, being on the couch forever leads to being on the couch forever. Not challenging myself mentally leads to me never developing mentally. Like, it's almost a regression. Like, it is a dark space whenever you don't spend time on yourself, whenever you don't look to improve your life. You feel stuck. I still even feel stuck now, but at least I know that that's not the case. Like, I might feel like I'm stuck, but I know that something's coming out of these things, because the alternative is worse, man. The alternative is dark. Like, dark thoughts move in, man, and it's tough to get out of that mud. I can get out of the mud in a duck pond. Dude, getting out of the mud in your head, rough, man. It is a dark place. It is a tough place to get out of. It is a tough place to be. That's why I want to do this physical activity. I think it really starts with that physical activity, getting your body moving. Get your mind moving. Like, there is a biological thing. Things are released in your brain and in your body when you move and you choose to do physical activity. So I started with that. That's what I wanted to do last year, and I'm just building off of that. I have to be moving. It's so important to have that physical activity and be moving, even if you feel like you're not going anywhere. Just keep moving, people. Just keep moving. Don't stay stuck in the mud. Tiptoe, grab that sled, hold on tight, baby, and just do little paddle kicks. do paddle kicks. And that's going to do it for us, man. That's going to do us, fumble, fumble, fumble. Stumble, stumble, stumble. That's going to do it for us on Last Week, This Week with your boy, Clayton Hill. Follow me on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you watch, wherever you listen. You can find me, baby. Just be a little Ellen DeGeneres out there. And just keep swimming, baby. Just keep swimming. We got this. You got this. Little by little, we're going to do it, baby. Lost in faith in 2024. Let's go. We'll see you next time, y'all. Peace.